Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
What's poppin', everybody? My name is Nico Blitz.
And I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And welcome back to the Mexipino podcast, straight off of vacation.
From Guadalajara, Mexico.
Yes, from Guadalajara, which was absolutely amazing. We spent, 5 days there?
About 5 days, yeah, I think. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of Monday.
Yeah, kind of Monday, and also kind of that Thursday, too. But we're basically going to take this whole podcast to talk about this trip.
We spent the whole day there Thursday. We got there Thursday.
Wednesday, yeah. But we're going to spend this entire podcast going over this trip because there was a lot of random activities, events, and so forth.
Yeah, and I think Nico learned a lot about Mexico, where my mom's from. And yeah, we just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it because I feel like for me, I haven't been there since 2015. So it's definitely different going as an adult. And seeing my family and trying to remember all my family members' names still is a difficult process for me. Mm-hmm. I think Nico now knows how many family members, I have too many family members.
I mean, I still don't know how many there were exactly, but I think in this case, Mexican families are just like Filipino families in the sense of we have so many family members and it's so hard just to remember everyone's names. And you feel bad, but then also at the same time, it's like, but there's so many people, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I feel like there's the family members that are from where our motherlands are that you're just like, okay, I know who this is, I know who they are and how they're connected, but there's only 4 family members that you know for sure their names. And then the rest are kind of like, I can't remember, but they look familiar.
Jackie's saying the least important family members.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's just that there's hella family members. But now I think since I've gone to Mexico as an adult, I am able to remember more.
Yeah, I'm able to remember more faces because generally I'm not a name person anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's only until we have so much conversation and I see you on a pretty frequent basis, someone's name is going to be solely embedded in my head. That's just me. And that's something I'll admit. It's not because I want to forget your name. It's just the capacity of my brain remembering someone's name, let alone a family member, is just rough.
I feel like my problem is that I remember family members' names, I remember faces, but I can't put the two together.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you might get the name mixed up with the wrong person.
Yeah, it's okay, I recognize your face, but I don't know your name. But then when somebody says their name, I'm like, oh, okay, that's you.
Yeah. One of my cousins back in the Philippines when I visited this past January, he's my Kuya Bing Bong.
Kuya Bing Bong?
Yeah, like Bing Bong.
Like Bing Bong.
Yeah, like Bing Bong, but Bing Bong. Bing Bong just makes it more Filipino.
Bing Bong.
Yeah, so...
Why Bing Bong?
I mean, that's just a nickname. I don't even know. I mean, it might be his real name. It might just be a nickname, but I've just always known him as Kuya Bing Bong.
That's just such a funny name. That's I would just say that. I literally would remember him because of it.
Yeah. So, and that's why, because he has such a very distinct name that I remembered it, right? And so it was funny because when I saw him, I was like, what's up, Kuya? And then he was like, Nico, kamusta? I was like, mabute. And then he said out loud, he said, in Tagalog, but I'm going to do the English translation was, you don't remember my name, huh? Hindi ka remember ang pangalan ko. And I was like, dude, you're Kuya Bing Bong. And then he just laughed. He was like, okay, I'm happy you remember.
See, I feel like a lot of my mom's family members in Mexico, they don't really have nicknames.
Okay.
Some of them do, but most of them don't. They go by their name,
Yeah.
But then there's also repeated names, and I'm just like, okay, what are we doing here, y'all?
I don't think I met anybody with a repeated name in Guadalajara.
Well, that's because the one that has a repeated name also has a nickname. So there's
that doesn't make sense. You made their name easier, then you're trying to make it more easy?
No, yeah, well, yes.
Okay.
Because this person could be Jose. And then this person could also be Jose, but this Jose has a nickname and this Jose doesn't. You get me?
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm trying to say?
So it's Juan and then another Juan. Then if you have both of them together playing basketball, it's 1-on-1.
You're dumb. I knew as soon as you said Juan. I knew as soon as you said Juan that you were gonna make a joke. But yeah. Oh, and then we have like, it's funny because one of my cousins, China, like that's her nickname, China, and
wait, which one was China?
Andrea.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember her as China when I was younger. So when I introduced you, I said, I'm like, oh, babe, this is China. And then she looks at me and then she looks at you and she goes, Andrea. I was like, oh, well, yeah, but
yeah.
You know.
And you know what? I think that's where a lot of the confusion started because I remembered your cousins, right? I remembered Ari. I remembered Gio, her boyfriend. But then fiance. But then I was also like, I want to say it's Andrea for Jackie's other cousin, but she told me a completely different name when she first introduced me.
Yeah, I had given you her nickname, which was China, but then, I guess she doesn't really like it, maybe because I've heard some of the family members call her that.
Okay,
but I think she likes to go by Andrea. And after she said like she introduced herself as Andrea, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go by Andrea. But yeah, Ari and Andrea are sisters.
Yes. And we're you guys are gonna get familiar with all of Jackie's cousins and relatives in just a bit. But let's backtrack it just a little bit and go to the day of traveling, right? So first and foremost, the night before traveling, Jackie caught an audible that happened within the airport and the airlines.
Yes, so
not a bomb.
No. So we were all checking in. It was basically the trip was me, Nico, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, my uncle, my aunt, my other uncle, and their kids.
Hella people.
And that's not even most of my family here in the States. So we all went, but then I noticed that when we were checking in, like my immediate family, I was like, wait, we're supposed to leave at midnight. The boarding pass says 3 p.m.
Which made zero sense.
And I was just like, wait a second. Wait, it said 7 p.m. Sorry. 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And then I was just like, wait, okay. So then I called my dad. I was like, hey, Dad, the boarding time, everything is off. And he's like, oh, it's because it's like Mexico time. I'm like, sir, they're only an hour ahead.
And that's what I'm saying. They were an hour ahead. So why was the flight like earlier? Like, it made zero sense.
The flight was like 7 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, there's something wrong here. So we ended up calling the airline. Turns out that there's like that Delta owns Aeromexico. Mm-hmm. Delta is having like a strike with their pilots. They're having a pilot shortage. How there can be a pilot shortage, I don't know. That's hella weird. No, and it's happened like with other airlines before. Like I don't understand how there's a pilot shortage.
Well, I get it with Southwest because it's kind of trash, but it's Delta and Aeromexico.
But I mean, even then, like it's like you guys can't just borrow a pilot from somewhere else. Like,
I mean, do hospitals borrow other nurses?
They borrow other doctors.
They do. Oh. Okay, well, Jackie shut that down real quick.
Yeah, they literally borrow their doctors too.
Do radio stations borrow other radio hosts?
Unless they steal them.
Anyway. All right.
But yeah, so then we end up calling. They end up explaining like, oh yeah, you know, your original flight's been canceled and we've moved you up. I'm like, was anybody going to tell us about this? Like, so long story short, we get to the airport earlier than anticipated, so we're already like hectic. We all had to call off work. Nico's like self-employed, so
yes, I was straight. I was fine.
He's all like, and that's what bugs me about like Nico is the most like. Oh my God. If you ever travel with your significant other, there's always one that's like wants to be super prepared and the other one that's always making jokes and not taking anything seriously. We're going on an international trip. And so I keep on asking Nico, I'm like, hey, do you have our passports? And he's like, and I'm just like, be fucking for real with me right now. Like, I need you to be alert. And that's something that like with Nico is my biggest pet peeve is that like he likes to joke around and not know the room sometimes. I'm like, I need you to give me a yes or no answer when it comes to having our passports. Like,
but I had the passport. I literally had the passports on me the entire time.
It would have just been easier if you had just told me, yeah, I have them. I would have been in a much better mood. Literally, me at an airport and traveling is not the me to fuck around with.
I get that, but then I also think people take the airport stuff a little bit too seriously. Like, and granted, I know a lot of people do this, but people show up like 3 or 4 hours before their flight, and I'm like, dog, like you could literally show up an hour beforehand and it'll be good.
I don't think you understand that you're supposed to show up 3 to 4 hours earlier for an international flight. For a domestic flight, yeah, I get it. Don't, if you're that person that shows up 3 hours before your domestic flight, please. But if you're there for international travel, 3 hours before.
I mean, I just had one bag. That's it. I didn't have to check anything in. All I had to do was...
You checked in your bag. You ended up checking in your bag.
Yeah, at the end when we were already inside, and they literally told us like, hey, if you check it in, it'll be for free. All right, cool. And I don't have to pay for it. Take it.
My point is that if you're traveling with your significant other who can't take anything seriously and at the airport, especially when it comes to travel, just handle everything on your own. Handle everything on your own.
You know, at least I'm not the guy who's at the airport calling bomb, bomb, bomb.
Okay. Why would you say that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fucking around. But who wasn't fucking around was actually your dad when we actually got in the car, the rental vehicle, and we were heading over to the hotel.
Why?
Because, so, I'm over here thinking we're going to Mexico. Cool. We're going to see like a freaking tower of a hotel. It's going to be like in a like cool area, right? Let me tell y'all what the hell happened. First of all, it was raining when we landed.
I gave you a warning about Mexico rain, that it rains like sporadically.
Yeah.
And it's humid and hot.
Yeah. So I was fine with the weather. I was like, cool, it's rain. It's something that I've dealt with before. We hop in the rental, we start driving, and then the roads were just rocky. There was just potholes. The pavement was uneven. A lot of the streets were just like not of U.S. I guess standard, because if you were making a left,
we weren't in the U.S.
I know. Basically, a lot of the roads, if you went straight, there was a straight to go straight, a straight to go right, and a straight to go left. There were U-turns everywhere. You couldn't make a left turn, but you had to make a U-turn just to make a left. Like, it was weird, and I was just like, okay, this is strange. Not too strange, because it was kind of similar to the Philippines, right?
Nico sounds very privileged right now.
No. So
just wait until he tells you about the hotel, and then you're gonna see that he sounds privileged.
And so we're driving, and then I'm listening to the Google Maps. It's like, make a right, and then in 400 feet, the hotel will be to your right. Mm-hmm. And so we make a right, and then it looks like we're going down this weird alley, and I'm over here like, Google Map.
He means the hood. He means like the trenches when he says like this weird alley. It's the street.
No.
It's a street.
Mind you, it was dark as hell. It was still raining, and I'm just like, where the hell are we? And the pavement is crazy. The pavement is absolutely crazy. So we're driving, and then the Google Maps is like 400 feet to your right. And then we stop, and I'm over here like, yo, where the hell are we? Like, are they about to kill me right now? Like, what's about to happen in this hotel? Like, I don't even see the hotel. You didn't even see the hotel.
I did see the hotel.
No, you didn't.
Because it literally said hotel, like so-and-so.
Oh, my God.
And then Nico, like, was just, like, panicking because you could tell that he was just, like, we're in the cuts right now. Where's this hotel? The hotel was actually really nice, but Nico was expecting like MGM Grand type of hotel.
No, I wasn't. No,
and
I
he
didn't.
Was expecting Cancun hotels in the middle of Guadalajara. Like, it's like, bro, BFFR. Like, it was just, I knew it. And then, like, I didn't want to say anything to my parents or my sister-in-law or my brother, because I was just like, I don't want them to think he's like, like, why are we here?
No, but that's the thing. I wasn't like, it's just because it was dark. It was raining. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And it just looked like we were going down an alley. And I was like, I don't even know what's happening. So it's all good.
But once you got into the hotel, it was very nice.
Once I got into the hotel, well, actually, not yet. Like, so when Jackie and I actually went to sleep first, there's this Filipino superstition to where if the bed is facing the door, the devil is going to grab you by the feet and drag you out. And guess which direction the bed was facing.
Yeah, the bed was facing the bedroom. The bed in the hotel room was facing the door, and Nico was like, "I can't sleep," and I was like, "I
can't do
why?"
this.
And he's like, "Because my feet can't face the door," and I was like, "Okay, well, do you want to like shift? I don't know." And then he's just like, "Yeah, let's just sleep sideways," and we ended up sleeping diagonally on that bed the entire trip.
But mind you, it felt like it was a king size bed, so there was a lot of room for us.
Yeah, there was more than enough room, but I just don't know why we didn't flip.
Oh, like turn the bed?
No, like just have our heads face the door. I don't mind that, and then have our feet face the wall.
Now, see, if my head was like toward the door, then the devil was going to grab me by the head and then just freaking drag me out by the head.
There's also a superstition that like my mom always tells me to like grab my hair when I go to sleep, like put it up in a ponytail, or like she's like, "How can you sleep with like your hair down, da da da." So I asked her once, I was like, "Well, why do you always like put your hair up?" And she's just like, "Because I think she said my grandma or my grandma's mom told her once that if she slept with her hair down, the devil was going to play with it in her sleep."
Oh, no.
So it's just like, so now I kind of like always have my hair in some sort of ponytail when I go to sleep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so long story short, we ended up sleeping diagonally because neither one of us wanted to get dragged by the devil in the middle of Guadalajara.
See, I was fine with sleeping with my feet facing towards the door, but once you told me why, I was like, see, why you gotta tell me that shit? Like, now I'm gonna freak out.
Well, you're dating a Filipino. I gotta let you know about the Filipino superstitions.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So, fast forward, neither of us got some good sleep. I think I slept a total of like 3 full hours that night. Jackie probably the same.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. It was just in and out of sleep.
Yeah.
Mainly because we were overthinking it. And then that first day we went to Mexico, we went to Tequila, which, in case you guys don't know, is an actual city.
Yes.
In Mexico. It's tequila. It's where tequila is made. And we brought home a bottle that's waiting for us at my parents' house. But the tequila tour was super fun, I think.
Yeah, the tequila tour was hella fun. I mean, it took maybe like, I don't know, an hour and a half to get there, and we had just met like all of Jackie's cousins. Most of them, her cousins, her family members. And mind you, each and every one of them did not know a lick of English. Maybe
Gio did.
Okay, yeah. And Gio is Jackie's cousin's fiance.
Yeah, Gio is super nice.
Who's a nurse.
Yes. Yeah, but you want to just put everything out there?
Hey, that's my guy. He was speaking English. He was trying to speak English to me, so it was cool.
That's something that's really cool, though. I think that, like, even though my family over there doesn't really speak English, they tried their best to communicate with Nico. Whether that's still include him in conversations and it's in Spanish and then we just translate. I'm not the best translator, so my mom was helping out more than anything. My brother was helping out. And my dad was kind of giving Nico the lay of the land of like what this is, what like some history stuff. But the tequila tour was really fun. It took about an hour and a half to get to Tequila. We went to one distillery, or actually two. One distillery.
Yeah.
And then the owner of that distillery was actually really cool. He had a bunch of oh my God, what are they called?
What?
The trucks. The Ford.
Oh, like the throwback, like Ford trucks?
Yeah, he had like a whole bunch of throwback Ford trucks, but my dad told you they were called something. It was wolf in Spanish, and I can't remember the word for wolf in Spanish.
I don't even know the word wolf in Spanish.
I can't remember. But that's what they like refer to those type of trucks over there. And it was a vintage truck collection of Fords, and one of them was actually owned by Vicente Fernandez, which was
super cool.
Super cool. You can even see like the registration on the car where he was living at the time when he like had that car registered, and it was really dope. We ended up.
So before we speed up, you want to give the people who aren't privy to Vicente Fernandez, like you want to give them like a background of who he is?
Yeah, Vicente is from Guadalajara. Vicente Fernandez. He is a very famous, or was a very famous, he passed away. Was a very famous Mexican singer. You've heard his songs, probably Volver, Volver, Guadalajara. There's just so many songs. He's just an icon. A legend when it comes to the Mexican music and just music in general. And it was actually really sad because I saw a video recently where him and Tony Bennett actually did like a collaboration song. And now they both have passed.
Yeah. Well, so Tony Bennett passed while we were on the trip.
Yeah. Tony Bennett passed actually, I think that Thursday that we got there, which was actually really sad. But yeah. That's who Vicente Fernandez is. And then, so the tequila tour, that distillery that we went to, that was that one. And we get to see the process of the tequila being made. We just reeked of alcohol.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting how tequila is made, right? First, there's the agave leaves that we were just seeing like across tequila. Like it was nothing but agave plants, right? Mm-hmm. And so what they do is they get this agave plant, and then once they uproot it, they take off the leaves, but then the remaining portion looks like a big ass pineapple.
Yeah, they call it la pina.
Yeah, la pina. So they take this pineapple, and then after the pineapple, they put it in this machine, and then they extract the juices from it.
Yeah.
And then we were actually able to like suck the pineapple, I guess.
Yeah. So like they basically like dehydrate
it. Yeah.
Yeah. They like dehydrated the piña core of the agave plant, and then we were able to taste the juices from the piña part of the agave plant, and it tasted so good. It tasted like tequila, but it didn't taste as like bad.
Yeah, it tasted just fresh.
Yeah, it just tasted fresh. And then from there, they go through, the fermenting process, everything like that. And then after we saw that, then we went to actually go and taste tequila. We took a while.
We took a while.
We took about 7, maybe 8 shots.
Within a span of like 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
But this whole like tequila tasting, it was really fun. They teach you how to properly take tequila shots so it doesn't, burn. You don't have that like that icky feeling when
so I've explained this to Jackie multiple times, but then now she believes it because the guy at Tequila told her how to drink. So how are we supposed to take tequila shots?
So you're supposed to like put it by your chin, the shot, so you can smell the aroma of the tequila by your chin, not directly under your nose, because if you do it directly under your nose, it's gonna be like too harsh.
Overwhelming.
It's gonna be too harsh. And so then after you kind of get used to the smell, you take the shot, you swish it in your mouth for about 3 seconds, side to side.
Swallow me.
Oh my gosh. You swish it in your mouth for about 3 seconds. You inhale, swallow, exhale. Mm-hmm. And Nico didn't say any of the parts prior. He just said that breathe in, swallow, breathe out. But he didn't mention like the smelling, the swishing, anything like that. So he was half right.
Yeah. I was half right, but still half right.
Yeah.
Another weird thing that we did, like when we were at that tequila tasting, was we ended up getting a shot of tequila. I forgot which one it was, but then we had to put it on our hand. And then after we put it on our hand, we were supposed to rub it. And then after that, air it out. And then after that, just inhale everything off of our hands, basically.
It was like a droplet of like tequila. And I think that's how you're supposed to tell if tequila is cheap or not. If like you put a drop of it on your hand, then you kind of just rub your hands together, air it out, and then smell it. And then if your hands feel sticky, it's cheap tequila.
It's cheap tequila. See, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Another thing
because he was speaking Spanish, my bad.
Yeah, see? So I definitely just missed that. Another thing that I missed was actually like airing out the tequila from your hand. So all I did was I put like a dot on my hand, I rubbed it, and then I just inhaled it, and like literally it was like inhaling nothing but alcohol just straight to my brain.
Yeah. You missed that part. But like every tequila bottle that we tried was made at that distillery, 1, and 2, it was like 35% of alcohol for each bottle.
Yeah, and you know what was very interesting, right? So they had like these big like containers of nothing but tequila. One container was for their specific tequila brand, which I cannot remember right off the head. Another one was their same one. However, it was going to last in that container for a much longer time than the first one. And then they had a third container, which I don't know. I think it had like 30,000 gallons or something like that. But basically, they said if you have a tequila bottle or a tequila brand, you can go there and just fill in your bottle and they will do it for you.
Yeah. So what they do at that like specific distillery, and I'm pretty sure they probably do it at other tequila distilleries, is that like if you have a tequila brand, all you have to do is supply them with bottles, labels, and they pack it and ship it.
Yeah. And
so like that's what like I'm guessing, 818 Tequila does.
Not sponsored.
Like, George Clooney's brand of tequila, like whatever celebrity, whatever next celebrity wants to profit off of Mexican culture, that's what they do.
So I have a question now. Let's just say hypothetically 818 Tequila got their alcohol from them and they're technically paying them to make 818 Tequila, right? Does that change your mind about 818 Tequila in any way whatsoever? Or any tequila brand that does that same process?
No. I don't think so. Because it's Kendall Jenner. And they're just culture vultures. They're just like, I don't know. Like, if there's something to me, there's something, like, unless I know, like, I don't know. Unless it's like, big business helping out big business, it's kind of like, okay, I guess, But if you're like, if you're just doing it just to make shitty tequila, and I've tasted it, it's like pretty shitty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're not getting it from, where you
are supposed to
get it from.
Yeah. That's when you get the tequila that's just like sticky on your hands after you rub it and whatnot.
If it's sticky tequila on your hand, it's trash.
Amen to that. So then we ended up moving over to a Cantarito spot like right afterwards. I still don't know how to explain Cantarito. Is that it's just a big ass jar?
Well, the Cantaritos are like, it could either be the big ones or the small ones. They're like the clay cups.
The clay pots, cups, etc.
Yes, those are Cantaritos. And then we went to a Cantarito spot that had more tequila. The entry fee to that one was a shot of tequila.
But then we missed it. We didn't even get the entry.
It's because our homeboy, our tour guide. Yeah, he forgot about it, so he just ended up giving it to us after.
It's all good.
But we still had a fun time. We had 2 tequila bottles in that one Cantarito jar.
Yeah, because if you guys have ever seen how like a big ass Cantarito jar is made, how much would you say is in there? Like a gallon or 2 worth of like liquids?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, let's just say it's 2 gallons worth, right? So what this guy did was he put a lot of like yellow, he put a lot of ice in there,
look
right?
At him.
Know what I'm saying?
Period.
Yo Sabo, you feel me?
Sé.
Oh shit. So he put a lot of ice in the Cantarito jar, and then the amount of squirt that was just put in there right after was insane. It seemed like it was 3 containers,
3 liters,
3 liters or 4 liters of squirt just getting poured in.
I think Nico realized how much squirt. Like I think Mexicans drink a lot of squirt and Coke.
Mexicans drink so much. I think Mexicans drink more squirt than they do Coke.
Well, it's because like squirt is like the main like, I guess what is the word I'm looking for? Like mixer for alcohol. But also too, what I found out, and we'll go back to that in a second. Like what I found out in Mexico is that they like. A lot of Mexicans mix their alcohol with mineral water over there.
Oh my God. It was insane.
Yeah, like it was just everything was mineral water and then like a dash of like Coke or a dash of like an energy drink, Yes. And I was just like, I wonder why like that is. Because we don't do that over here in the States.
No, we don't do that at all.
It tasted good. And like I was able to last longer.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Jackie lasting a little bit longer in just a second.
But like, pause. But yeah, I noticed that like in Mexico, they like always, and I don't know why, but like it's like, whatever type of alcohol with agua mineral and then a dash of something.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to it in a bit. We'll get to it because that actually correlates with like the following days.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, back to the Cantarito, it was just a whole bunch of squirt, a whole bunch of lime, and maybe like 2 bottles of tequila in there. Yeah. Just shared amongst grapefruit. And grapefruit, yes. Shared amongst like how many people? You'd say like 20?
No,
30?
There was like. Actually, yeah, there was probably like 16 or 17 of us.
Yeah, there was like, I said 30. Yeah, just about, let's just say 20 of us. Yeah. There was 20 of us like sharing a 2 gallons worth of like just squirt and alcohol and everything. It was nuts. But I was messed up because, first of all, Jackie poured the tequila in the Cantarito and then she took a shot of it, poured the rest of it back in. And then they asked me to carry the Cantarito. Once again, it was a big-ass jar. I'm wearing a white shirt. I'm wearing some beige shorts. And as soon as I picked that thing up, it just all spilled on me. And I'm like, dog, like...
Well, not all of it. Like
the brim
spilled. But it's heavy. I don't know why no one was helping you. But then Jacob helped you.
Yeah, Jacob helped me for sure. But shouts out to Jacob.
And so tequila was really fun. And then... The next day was my cousin's quinceanera over there. Shout out to Brice.
Oh,
Feliz cumpleaños.
Okay.
And again, it was one of those instances where we were trying to find the hall and we were in the cuts. When I tell you we were in the cuts this time, we were in the cuts and we're like, oh my God, where is this hall? Like what the heck?
Well, so yeah, we got a little bit lost, right? Like this is after the quinceanera, like at the church.
Oh yes.
I guess there was some miscommunication and someone had said that the actual quinceanera, the party, was only 3 blocks away.
Yes. But what we failed to realize is that like 3 blocks away isn't what we think it is over here in the States. It's what is it? It's 3
it was 3 like colonies away.
So in Mexico they call them colonias, which is like, you know, colonies in English, but it's like kind of what they call each type of like city, I guess. So like Downey would be a type of colonia, you know, and then LA would be another colonia, and then OC would be another colonia. So that's the best way I can think of interpreting it. So it was 3 colonias away,
which made a lot more sense.
Which made a lot more sense. But one of my cousins made it seem like it was 3 blocks away.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be like 10 minutes away. It ended up being like 30 minutes away from the actual like quinceanera at the church.
Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, it was just strange because Jackie was talking about me like trying to drive into the cuts. This was like the super cuts.
This was a super cuts.
Oh, you want me to talk?
No, super cuts.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Of like hair super cuts. But
super
anyway.
Cuts, fool.
But and something interesting too is that everything starts even later over there. Like this quince started at 9
o'clock. So
like the hall, like the party, the dinner, everything like that.
So we're already getting there like super late. We're driving through what seems like it was the hood, and then next thing you know, like this damn Google Maps is like, in 400 feet you'll reach your destination on the left, and I'm like, where the fuck are we? Like, and literally, not only was my face worried, but Jackie looked worried. Her parents looked worried. Her brother and sister-in-law looked worried. I'm like, oh, so now I'm not the only one tripping about what everything looks like.
Yeah, but then we ended up getting to the hall, and it was actually really beautiful. It was so pretty.
It was gated. It was behind a gate.
Yeah, it was a gated like hall. It was so pretty. The whole quinceanera was just really beautiful.
Yeah.
Something that was really interesting was that, and I don't know if this is just how my family did it, or if this is how it is in Mexico, but the party started at 9, and it was like the legit party started at 9, and then the DJ was just really good.
He went off like immediately. Like we literally started dancing by 9:30, 10.
Yeah, we were dancing, drinking by 9:30, and then we all took a break, and then and Nico was like, how is this supposed to go till 2 a.m.? Like it's only like 11.
And at that point too, like I didn't even think we were gonna eat.
Yeah, and then we hadn't even eaten dinner yet. So then they start serving dinner after like part one of the quinceanera of dancing, and we're like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is cool, like we're eating, we're gonna like probably get tired, we'll probably head back early. But then no, they did all the bailes sorpresas, they did everything, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, oh, it keeps going.
Yeah.
So we're drinking in the middle of it while all the dances are going on. We start talking to family members, and then part two of like the dancing comes on again, and we're like, oh damn,
Yeah.
like
So-
they go hard here.
And it made a lot more sense because going to the quinceaneras over here in like the United States, right? It's like, you know, you do the grand entrance and whatnot from the jump, and then you start eating, and then it's speeches and what have you and presentations, and then it's dancing. Whereas in Mexico, to kind of like lay it out, it was dancing first for a long time. It was presentation and eating around the same time. Then it was more dancing, and I'm like, I kind of like this format a lot better because like in the US, for example, right? Like if you're going with the way that it is in the US, you are so damn tired by the time it's the end of the night and no one feels like dancing.
Yeah.
But the way I mapped it out afterwards was like, okay, well, you get people tired initially by dancing, but it's also fun right off the bat. You replenish them with food, and then you have more opportunity for them to dance even longer afterwards.
Yeah.
So it made sense.
That too, and like everything here in the US is like hall wise is done by like 11.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
over there it's like we're going till like we drop.
I mean, I felt like it could have went on to like 4 or 5.
Oh,
damn
100%.
near.
Well, that's what like some of my cousins did. They went to like one of my cousin's house, and then like just
Partied more.
But even though they were tired, yeah, but yeah, and then that was like the quince day. And then after the next day, we went out to a club.
Yeah, oh my God.
We went out to a club with my primos. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Fanny. Shout out to Gio. Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Evelyn. And I think that's all who went, right? And from my primos.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it was me, Nico, my brother, and my sister-in-law. And we've never been to a club in Mexico. This was my first. Like, when I was younger, I definitely could have drank. No one would have given a shit, but my parents did give a shit, so I didn't drink when I was younger over there. But this time I was going as an adult, and we just wanted to party with our cousins.
Yeah.
We wanted to experience the nightlife in Mexico.
Yeah, so first we ended up pre-gaming over at their apartment, which was super nice, by the way. And let me just say, I don't mean to put their business out there, but it was super nice. It was marble. It was like a floating bar stand. It was nice as hell. And I was like, yo, bro, how much are you, how much is this hotel? Because this apartment, right? I was like, yo, bro, like, how much is this apartment? Because we started talking about, like, how much it costs to live in the U.S. and Mexico, right? So I told him, like, my price for this apartment, which is roughly around, like, $1,700 a month, which is insane. And so I just went to talking to him, like, yo, Gio. And mind you, Jacob is the translator between, like, Spanish and English for Gio and myself. So I told him, like, how much do you pay for this spot? And he said something pesos, which after I did the math, it came out to $333 US a month.
That's crazy. That's insane. I just realized that, like, living in Mexico would be just so much easier.
So much easier. Living anywhere outside of the U.S. would be so much easier.
Yeah.
When I tell y'all it was nice, it was nice.
Well, because I think also too, like, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Philippines, the dollar is worth more than it is in Mexico, right?
Yeah, it's 50. It's 1 to 50. And then in Mexico, it's 1 to 15.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 1 to 50 in the Philippines?
That's what I'm saying. Yes. It's nuts. So, like, immediately I was like, I could literally pay off an entire year's worth of just renting a spot here in, like, I don't know, a month or so. Like, it's insane. And he's a nurse.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gio. I'm just putting all his information out there.
For real.
He lives on 123.
No, we don't. I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, so we had pre-gamed at our cousin's house, and then from there we went to the club. But meanwhile, we were like, I guess the drink of the night was whiskey.
It was Black Label. It was literally a mixture between Black Label
and Johnny
Red
Walker.
Label. It was nuts. But
I just like burped right now out of reflex.
Well, the saving grace for the night was actually what Jackie mentioned earlier. So instead of drinking these shots just straight up, because I cannot drink whiskey like that straight up, there was always a mix of Black Label and or Johnny Walker with just mineral water. And I shit you not, it was the best decision, and it altered my way of drinking 1,000%.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think, like, so we would obviously pour the alcohol. It would be the agua mineral, and then we added a dash of, like, this energy drink.
Yeah, and or Sprite, too.
And or Sprite. And then, yeah, and that's what we were drinking pretty much all night. And then we even learned this like trick to like kind of do a shotgun with the glass and then, like go this way. It was actually pretty cool. Damn, I can't remember how it was.
We were able to do a shotgun like with a glass.
So you like have the glass here, you cover it like this, and then you flip it and you drink it like that. And it was so cool. It's my new favorite party trick. I just can't do it a lot.
I'm gonna start showing off with that.
No, but literally, like, oh my god, I like at one point I was fine. And then out of nowhere, I just was not fine.
I was hit.
Like 1,000% not fine. I needed to go throw up. I threw up in the club bathroom. I threw up outside, like profusely.
It was bad.
It was so bad, guys, but it was one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, same. It was super fun. I mean, the club itself, it was funny because Gio, also being very hospitable, he was asking what type of music that we liked, right? And so he was like, you like electronica? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you like reggaeton? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you like rock? And then Jacob, Jackie's brother, was like, yeah, I like rock. Literally, it was nothing but cover bands the entire night. The first band was like a mixture of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The second band was straight up reggaeton. And by the time we got to the third band, which was like rock, is when
everything just like shit hit the fan.
Yes.
Like shit hit the fan, meaning like we were all just like done. We were done.
Yeah. And they wanted to go till 5 o'clock. We left at like 3.
Yeah. We left. Oh, did we?
Yeah, we left around. Well, yeah, Jackie doesn't remember.
I honestly don't remember like getting back to the hotel. I don't remember like a lot of things after throwing up. And I don't remember what time we got back to the hotel.
Well, I mean, we basically slept by 4:30. That's all I can really say.
That's insane.
It was nuts. It was a fun night. It was a very fun night.
It was fun. It was super fun.
Wait. And mind you, if you are American and you're going to these clubs, make sure you do not speak English. Do not speak a lick of English. And if you do speak English, make sure you do it privately, because we had bought like a promo bottle, which basically or a promo package, which came with 2 bottles. And then we had bought an additional bottle for our section to cover the expenses for that specific section. And so Jackie's knocked out by this point. She is dead in the club.
I didn't even know I fell asleep in the club.
Yeah, she was dead. And so next thing you know, Jackie's cousins were looking at the bill, and then they were like, why is it so expensive? We didn't buy like this, that, da. Next thing you know, Jackie's brother comes up to me and is like, hey, do not talk to the lady, because she found out that we're American. And because she found out we were American, she tried to get a bigger tip from us, which I was like, oh, this girl is smart, but I hate her right now. She's smart, but I hate her. Yeah.
I like that's how it is, unfortunately. Like they will try and like charge you more if you are not from there.
I get it. That's why I respect it, but because it happened to me, nah, dude, you ain't taking an extra like $100 out of me. Like I'm good.
I honestly don't even remember any of that. Like I remember like getting my money out and giving it to you, I think.
Yeah.
And then just letting you deal with that. I was like, here, I can't count right now.
Yeah. I ain't even gonna mention the spot because the spot was very fun regardless.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, but shouts out to that lady for trying to like pull one off on us, or 100 or 200 US dollars off of us.
And then Sunday, our final day, was super fun. We just kind of relaxed, and then we went to Tonala which...
Oh my God, Tonala Mexico was...
Tonala.
Oh, Tonala Mexico was crazy.
Okay.
It was funny.
It was fun. It was funny. But it's like basically like, you know, it's just a whole bunch of shops there. And then all of a sudden we get there, and then literally like 10 minutes into us getting there, it starts freaking pouring. And I'm going to try and get through this kind of quick. But like it starts pouring, and then we're trying to hide out of the rain. We end up going in through this little canopy or tent of one of these vendors, and we're waiting out the rain because we got separated from each other, like the entire group. And we're just like, okay, we're gonna wait until the rain calms down, and then we're gonna go back to the cars and just head back to the hotel.
Yeah, and
the rain in Mexico does not calm down.
It didn't calm down at all. And so basically Jackie was with like her family, well, rather her brother, sister, and immediate family. I was with Jackie's other family members, right? And one of them being...
I was with you.
I'm tripping.
It was me, Nico, my aunt, my uncle, my other uncle, and then my two cousins who are younger.
Yes.
My brother, my sister-in-law, my parents were off, and my niece were the other group. But we were hiding underneath like literal like canopy.
A little canopy, like literally right next to a whole bunch of Jesus crosses and like just holy stuff, right? And so, you know, when it's raining and these canopies aren't necessarily the best, but when it's pouring as much as it did, it was basically causing a flood of water like within the canopies, and the canopies were basically holding the water upward.
Yeah. So then like what a lot of the vendors would do was grab a stick and like, or a rod, and then just try and, you know, get the water out so that way it wouldn't fall.
It wouldn't fall on any of us, right? So get this.
The one that we were under started like kind of coming down because the water was getting heavy. And I was just like, somebody needs to push out the water because then it's just going to break on us.
Yeah.
And all the water is going to fall. So then the owner of the tent or of the little space, she tells my Uncle Joe, she tells him, hey, grab the stick, the rod from my neighbor, my other vendor neighbor, and just push out the water because then it's going to fall on you. It's going to tear and fall on you. And he goes, okay. He grabs a rod and he starts pushing up.
Oh my God.
He starts pushing up on the thing and it's going. But then all of a sudden it just goes, whew, and then we're all like, oh my gosh.
It just ripped open and it felt like the longest second of everyone's life.
It was like it opened and then I was just like, wait, I was thinking in my head, I was like, wait, where's the water? And then all the water just rushes over my aunt, over my baby cousin, and then you just go, and they are soaked. And my Uncle Joe is just there like, oh, shit.
And his face, when he looked up at the water and noticed nothing was coming out, like that split second of him just being like, where the hell's the water? Like, it was nuts. And then just bum rushed his face.
Yeah, and so like my poor aunt, my poor baby cousin, they just like, you know, my baby cousin started crying. Nico's laughing. I hit Nico. I'm like,
I'm laughing
crying.
my ass off. It was the funniest moment of my life.
It was so funny. In that moment, I felt bad for my baby cousin because like he just was like wailing.
He's like 1 or 2.
Yeah, he's 2. No, yeah, he's 2. And then and I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Nico's laughing. I tell him to shut up because my baby cousin's crying. And then after, we were laughing.
And so the ironic part about all of this, right, was that Jackie's auntie ended up, you know, cleaning up her daughter, Jackie's cousin, right? They're cleaning up. And then they're like 5 minutes later, by the time they're done. Yeah, Isaiah.
Daughter.
Cousin, whatever. So son. Anyways, Jackie and all of us decided to start walking because the rain stopped literally 5 minutes later. Mm-hmm. So the ironic part about all of that was that if he didn't try to push the water out, the rain was going to stop anyway, and like we could have avoided the entire conversation.
Yeah, period. But it was a funny moment, so... yeah.
It was great.
And we just ended up going back to the hotel. and
hanging out
and
chilling. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
It was a very fun
and then the
time.
next day we left.
Yeah.
Good times. I want to go back already.
Yeah, I want to go back too. It was very fun. And one thing that I forgot to mention, because it actually leads into this portion of the podcast that we have going on and that we're going to continue to be doing every single podcast, is the fact that I did not know Spanish definitely made the trip a lot more interesting in ways. So, for example, there was the "Do Not Disturb" sign that I put on the door, and it wasn't until I actually read it. It literally spelled out NO space MOLESTAR. And so I read it and I was like, no molesters, huh? And so I looked to Jackie and I was like, well, shit, I hope there aren't any. And she's like, what do you mean? And so I turned it to her. I was like, look, babe, it says no molester. And she said,
I was like, no, it's no molestar, as in do not disturb, you dummy. It was so bad. I was like, why would there be a sign that like says that we aren't molesters on our door?
I mean, I was like, I don't know.
That's so bad.
First of all, I thought we were in the cut, so I was like, I don't know if there's any molesters around here.
Oh my God.
So shouts out to no molestar. Anyway. Now, if you see that, it means do not disturb. And you would know that if you opened up this new package that we got called Yo Sabo, Tu Sabes.
The game.
The game.
Yo Sabo is a game that was sent to us by the creators of Yo Sabo. And in case you guys don't know, it's a take on like No Sabo Kids, which is really cool. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about it right now. So it's basically, actually, let me read this to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the box of the Yo Sabo game, it says, don't you hate it when someone asks you to translate and you don't know the word in Spanish? So you have to say no sabo. Well, we're here to help you say Yo Sabo. Just kidding, we know it's yo sé. So it's basically just a game to help you remember some Spanish words, learn some things too. There's different decks, como se dice cards, prueba cards. So if you read the como se dice, read the English word to be translated to the group. The group can throw out guesses and everything like that. There's a lot of instructions. Prueba cards, read the Latino trivia question to the group, and whoever correctly answers first wins the card. Everyone else drinks. So it's also a drinking game. There's a chancla card. And yeah, it's really cool.
Oh my
and
God.
There's a bunch of instructions that you guys can use to play along. So it's a small business. So if you guys want to try out this game, Yo Sabo, the game on Instagram, we'll tag them also too in this. So
Yeah.
Nico is going to give me some como se dice ones.
Yes. So it's this easy, y'all. And mind you, I wouldn't know any of the answers to this. Como se dice hammer in Spanish? Hammer?
Hammer. I don't want to say Ahmed.
Hammer?
No.
Yamer?
No, I'm sick. I have a feeling it has something to do with like hitting. Like, I don't know.
It is martillo.
Martillo?
Martillo.
Let me see. Martillo.
Yeah.
That's so hard. What the heck? Okay, give me one that you think I would know.
Okay, this one might be easy. You could kind of guess it. Como se dice headphones in Spanish? Jesus Christ. Jackie's definitely a Yo Sabo kid.
No Sabo
No Sabo kid.
Oh, I saw the word on one of the sculptures that we saw in Mexico. Oh my gosh.
Remember, y'all, como se dice headphones in Spanish?
Oh my gosh. Fuck. Is it like 3 words?
No, it's just one word.
Just one word? What is it?
Audiofonos.
That's not the word I was thinking of. Yeah. That's so easy. That sucks.
Okay. Ladies, we'll do like one more for you, ladies. Como se dice heels?
Tacones.
Are you sure?
Tacones, yeah.
All right. Tacones is the right answer.
Yay!
Jackie got one right. All right. And the last one that I want to do, como se dice laughter in Spanish?
Ha 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 ha.
No, it's ja 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 ja.
I'm sick. You're so over
Ja 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 ja.
Sick.
Thank you all.
Check out the Yo Sabo game, Yo Sabo Tu Sabes game on Instagram. We will tag them in our clips, but if you are listening to the audio version, it is Yo Sabo _ the game. It feels like it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna take this to my family parties. I really want to see who knows the words. And there's also expansion packs too. Sana Sana Colita Grana expansion pack and Noches Embrujados.
I think maybe we should just do like a whole podcast on it. I could see this being very, very fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to do it on the next podcast, y'all. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
And this is the Mexipino podcast. Smell you later. Bye.
Adios.